Good evening, hockey fans from around the Nicola Valley. Welcome to the show where you can stay up to date on everything Merritt Centennials, Talking Sense. I'm your host and play-by-play broadcaster for the Sense, Jared Thomas. Talking Sense, brought to you by DCS Auto, the automotive shop that can talk your vehicle's language. Bring your car into Sean and Heidi on Louder Street behind Cal Tire or call 378-2929. We're heading into week 14 of the season with games coming up against the Wenatchee Wild and Salmon Arm Silverbacks this week. But in the week that was, the Sens had matchups against the two teams they played the week previous, that being the West Kelowna Warriors and the Trail Smoke Eaters. Let's start with the home game on Friday against the West Kelowna Warriors, where the Sens were looking to avenge a 7-2 loss from the week before. Austin Roden made the start, and late in the first period, the Sens gave him a lead.
Bell will win it. Berkbeck steps up. His shot's up! Corner! Joey Berkbeck off the draw! He rings it! Upper V on Cole Demers! And the Merritt Centennials have first blood against the Warriors!
After the Sens scored, they'd go down a man, and then Zach Zorn a little too aggressive on the penalty kill, and the Sens would be short two, and the Warriors would get even in the first period.
Now Harrison from the near side corner across. Oh, what a stop by Roden! It's still loose! And now the Warriors will score!
So the Sens and Warriors tied after one, courtesy a power play goal by Clayson, getting it in the mayhem that ensued that huge save by Roden. In the second period, the Warriors started off, got their first lead of the game.
Back to the line for Judding. Marino the shot, rebound, Dubois will score!
Juicy rebound let out Roden. Chase Dubois onto it with the backhander, gets it up and over Roden for the Warriors to lead 2-1. But on the power play, the Centennials with some excellent puck movement.
Steered behind the net. Zach Zorn retrieves the puck over for Court. Right point for Wicks, to the middle of the ice for Buckley. Back to Wicks. Cross ice for Coca. Centering for Court. Down low for Wicks. Now score!
Wicks tying things up with about halfway through that second period, but 3 minutes later, Chase Stevenson with a weird deflection.
Back to the right point, Ryan. His shot deflected in. Chase Stevenson, he wasn't even on his feet, but he deflects it past Roden.
The run of power play goals would continue, as just 2 minutes later, Zach Court would get on the board.
6 minutes to go in the second period. Zach Court cutting to the middle. Coca follows up the flank, down low for Court. They'll score! Zach Court and Brad Coca on the power play. It seems to be the tonic.
That would set the stage for the tied at threes, much like the game a week before, where it was only 2-1 for West Kelowna. This time it was the Sens who'd grab hold in the third.
As Ryland Van Unen hit all alone, his shot down low and he'll score!
Once again, the Warriors would go to work after that goal and try and go to the power play, but Zach Zorn, he doesn't care about power plays.
Call 378-5580. Zach Zorn, the turnover! He'll score! Short-handed!
2 goals in the same game interrupted my live liners, but I'll have a Sens goal any day. Zach Zorn short-handed on the wraparound after a turnover by Cole Demers, right on the stick of Zorn, and he makes him pay. Later on in the period, about halfway through, Brendan Schneider showed that he had some moves.
Stocky plays it up for Zorn. Now Brendan Schneider in the middle of the ice. Cuts to the left side. Now back to the middle. Schneider, the shot, he'll score! Brendan Schneider, the latest to light the lamp!
Henry Cleghorn would add the header. The West Kelowna Warriors would get a goal back in mean-nothing time, and the Sens would get revenge against the West Kelowna Warriors. In segment 2, we will look ahead to the matchup on Saturday night against the Trail Smoke Eaters. We'll hear that next on Talking Sense, brought to you by DCS Auto, right here on Q101. Welcome back to Talking Sense, the show where you can stay up to date on everything Merritt Centennials. Talking Sense, brought to you by DCS Auto, the shop that can talk your vehicle's language. Go and visit Sean and Heidi on Lauder Street behind Cal Tire or call 378-2929. I'm Jared Thomas, and I went on the road with the Centennials on Saturday, a long road trip up to Trail. The boys Started out good, though. The first goal in the first period.
Vincent centering to Copperwood. Copperwood down low. Sabin tips it home. They'll score! Saints on the board early. It's not pretty, but they all count. Christian Sabin with the deflection in front from Matt Copperwood. The Centennials lead 1-0. 4:35 gone in the first period.
Christian Sabin with his third of the year from Matt Copperwood and Jack Vincent. But a little later on in the period, just 3 minutes later, the Sens would get on the board once again. This one, a little nicer quality of goal.
Cleghorn plays it right back out. Now Matthew Gosselin down the right wing. Driving wide, setting feet to Chase Bell. They'll score! Your classic one-timer. Gosselin to Bell, and it's bing, bada, boom. Chase Bell with the dynamite.
Chase Bell with the dynamite. That would be the only 2 goals the Centennials would score in the first. Trail couldn't answer. But in the second period, Trail takes over the game, and if not for some key Berger saves, they could have gotten right back in this one.
And once again, it gets back to Lucchini at the left point, across for Martini. Thrown in, deflected on, in and out, and still loose in the slot, and Berger bounces on it! Oh, what a stop on the line for Mike Van Uden! There's your backup goaltender. Move over Austin Roden. Mike Van Uden sprawled on the goal line. Keeps that one out after it went off the post on a deflection.
Mike Van Uden helping out his goaltender midway through the second period. And then late in the second, Berger with yet another key stop.
Tyrell Buckley has to get back in the play. Jones and all alone. Stopped by Berger on the breakaway. Some highway robbery from Jake Berger.
Jake Berger standing tall in the second period as shots in that second 16-2 for the Trail Smoke Eaters. In the third, it wouldn't get much better, but the Sens conversion rate would.
Henry Cleghorn lifts the stick. He'll flip it out. Now tries to give chase. Chance for 2-on-0. Henry Cleghorn with Zach Zorn. The shot. He'll score! Zach Zorn, short-handed, baby. The Sens back in it. Zorn with his second short-handed goal in as many nights.
Zach Zorn with the goal on the short-handed penalty kill. Now the league leader in short-handed goals for with 4. He also has 2 short-handed assists, so him and Henry Cleghorn have been at all sorts of work on the penalty kill. And he wasn't done there, because on the power play, Zach Zorn would strike again.
Point Coca trying to walk in with a bit of a toe drag move. Now it's played down low for Zorn. Bit of open ice. Zorn cutting through the middle. 5-hole! Zach Zorn, his second of the period, coming on the power play. He's just a special teams maestro.
Special teams maestro in Sens only muster 4 shots in that third period. Outshot once again, 14-4. Outshot in the game, 41-16. But from then on, they decided to protect their goaltender, and Jacob Berger hung on for the shutout 4-0 win over the Trail Smoke Eaters. In segment 3, we'll hear from team fan captain Jerry Dingleberry and from acting head coach Matt Sampson as we look ahead to the Wenatchee Wild and the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. We'll be back with more Talking Sense, brought to you by DCS Auto, in just a moment with me, Jared Thomas. Welcome back to the show today on everything Merritt Centennials Talking Sense. I'm Jared Thomas, play-by-play broadcaster for the Centennials, and Talking Sense brought to you by DCS Auto on Lauder Street behind Cal Tire. Give them a call, 378-2929. Well, in this week to come, we got matchups against the Wenatchee Wild and the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. But first, on Friday night, after the game against West Kelowna, I was joined by a very special guest, team fan captain Jerry Dingleberry. He filled me in on what went well on that Friday night for the team.
There, Jared. You know what? I thought the Sens' performance on the ice there was pretty good. You know, the boys on the ice did their job certainly. You know, and I just have to commend the fans there tonight. I think we did our job certainly. You know, I think there was a kids tournament there before the game, so I think a lot of the kids there stuck around, and they were a big part of our game as fans. You know, they added to the decibel level that we were putting out there, and you know, as we all know, like the louder we are in the stands, the better the boys play on the ice, and I think that really helped a lot.
So there was a lot of goals scored in that game, Jerry. For a fan, what's your favorite kind of goal?
Well, actually, you know, there's the one timer. I think is always like an electric goal. You know what I mean? You know, because it's if it's across the ice or to the D man or something like that. It's when you see that big clapper. I think it adds to the electricity and the feel of the goal. When it hits the back of the net, you just kind of feel it more. You know what I mean there?
But let's hear now from acting head coach Matt Sampson and his thoughts after that game against the Trail Smoke Eaters on Saturday night.
I'm still trying to process the whole game. Like you said, we had a good start. I was happy with it, for sure. We established a forecheck. We had some good looks on our power play. We had a good kill there, and coming into the second, we knew they were going to make a push regardless of who's in the lineup for them. Obviously, they were missing a lot of key guys, but they took it to us for a while in the second. We were getting away from making plays that has given us success not only last night, but over the past 5, 6, 7 games where we've been playing well and just turning pucks over and just not committing to the little things. I was very frustrated, and then sort of top it off, we had a goal waved off there at the end, which I have to watch. I didn't get an explanation, which that added to the frustration, and that was big to come out. Zorn gets a shorthanded one, and we were able to hang on.
Of course, coming up this weekend, the Sens have some major matchups: Wenatchee Wild and the Salmon Arm Silverbacks, both two interior division teams. Both teams that the Sens want to catch in the standings, get some separation from. Here's what Matt Sampson had to say about practice and heading into those ones.
Yeah, it's one of those weekends. It's nice that we play both at home because we play a little bit differently at home, and you can prepare for both teams. But right now, we really want to focus on us, and like you said, at practice. We have a full week of practice, probably a lighter day on Monday, but yeah, get back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and really prepare. And I really want to be good at home, and that's the key. You and I talked about that, about being under 500. That's very disappointing before last night, and yeah, it's just something we gotta build towards. And can't look ahead to Salmon Arm because Wenatchee's in our division, and Wenatchee's a very good team, and it's a team that's gonna, we beat them in their place last time, so they're gonna be coming out.
Yeah, those Wenatchee Wild, we took it in their own barn, won 3-2 in that game, if you'll recall. Just hung on in that third period, but I asked Matt if he's focusing on Wenatchee, what are some of the things Wenatchee does well?
They're similar to Trail. They're very, very skilled players. They get their D to engage, join the rush. Power play is very good. They play fast style, and I think that we can have a balance where we can play fast as well, but we can also maybe let them come to us and create turnovers because they want to make that extra pass all the time. We just got to prepare for a fast team that's got some firepower and be physical against them. And their rink's really big, and they're used to having lots of time and space. So that's the thing. Right away, we take that from them.
We'll see if the Sens can take a win from them on Friday night and then get the better of the Silverbacks on Saturday. Of course, if you can't listen, you can always catch all the highlights here on Talking Sense, or you can catch it live as it happens on Q101. Until next week, for Talking Sense, brought to you by DCS Auto, I'm Jared Thomas. See ya. Love ya. Bye.